Every creative should have a great 2024, and truth be told, we don't know what's around the corner, but you all should have some great product on deck, a great strategy to implement the release of that product, and an execution plan to make that strategy flawless. All right, so with that being said, let's just kick it right off. Let's hop into the Music Money Makeover show. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Music Money Makeover show. My name is Casey Graham. Let's hop right in. First things first, we got to have a quality product. For those of you all in 2023 who haven't been putting your best foot forward, let's make an effort to make some quality product this coming year. Many artists aren't taking the time to hone their skills and crafts, and many are rushing to make pennies. That's the truth, that a lot of you all have your sights set short. No one should be rushing to make pennies. You want to take time to develop a quality album or string of singles, because if you have a quality product first, you will not want to shortchange the next steps, which is this: content planning. But the number one thing that can help artists in 2024 is actually a content plan that gets the message across about your music releases and promotes them at the same time. Finding a plan that doesn't overwhelm you, your staff, and your skill set will be crucial to your success next year. So if we have quality product and we have a content plan to release that quality product, so long as we get the message across as actually in the music, out in the content as well, then you'll have a successful release. But you got to remember, it doesn't just end with the music itself. We have a lot more to delve into when it comes to having a successful content plan. Okay, now fan engagement strategy, because once we have the plan, we got to have a strategy, but this is going to be our base level and then we're going to go deeper. So if you want to succeed in 2024, you're going to need to produce content, but you should base your content on these targets that are in bold below to transform the attention into what you need to use it for. If you got low likes, that means you got a bad content idea. If you got low comments, that means you have no emotion. If you got low watch time, that means you have a bad hook or intro, right? And if you have low shares, your content is not relatable. So why would I share it? And if you have low saves, that means you're producing no value. So you want to start with a great content idea. Hear me out. You want to start with a great content idea that triggers a chosen emotion, that starts off with a great opening statement that is relatable to your audience, and that provides value that can help them have a better outcome or day, or just give them that increase of that shot of dopamine before they flick to the next video. Ultimately, if you put all these together in one single piece of content and you do it well, you'll find that that content has more virality than, you know, other pieces of content that you might have put out. And then you just want to rinse and repeat this process over and over again. Of course, maybe, you know, as a musician, you're not giving informational content, but it is information to somebody, and you are technically in the information business from a wide view. Okay, so when people consume your content, it's got to have that great trigger right there at the beginning, whether it's something you say lyrically in a song, whether it's an action that happens in a video or whatever. That hook will lead into the rest of the content. You get what I mean? But if you having issues in your content planning, then you need to figure out what your strategy is going to be based on these metrics. And this is just the very, very beginning, because once you have these metrics in place, it will allow you to take your fans on a journey throughout your sales funnel or your pipeline to get them to where you want them to go. Okay, now we got to have an execution strategy for the fan engagement strategy and the content planning. So check it out. The reason why many artists don't have the prior three things is not because they didn't want them, but because they didn't have an execution strategy. How are you going to execute these ideas to birth them into the material world? What is the strategy for execution? And this is a base level one that you can take with you. To keep it short, action A will result in X amount of whatever it is, so I can action B. And the kicker is action B. Sometimes a lot of you all say, I'm going to do this because I want this. Action B lets you get out of the strategy so you can hook it on to another strategy, and then another one, and then another one. So action A will result in X amount of whatever it is, so I can action B. And if I can action B, then that will result in X amount of whatever, so I can action C. So it's a daisy chain type of thing. If you stop right here, and this is a short-sighted goal. This is what I meant when I said many of you all will be rushing to make pennies. This is how you rush to make pennies. Action A will result in X amount of blank, X amount of streams. For what? Okay, what do you want to do? So I can action B. There you go. Now we can continue to push the cart down the road, and that's what we want to do. Now, you want to become fearless to no's. Take your mind off the no's and put focus on the meaning of doing what you're doing in the first place. Remember, it's not about the opinions of people so long as what you're doing has meaning. If what you're doing has no meaning, then all the brain will hear is negative opinions and negative criticism. So you want to find the meaning and you will accelerate your career tenfold. Because if doing music doesn't mean anything to you, then of course you'll have the self-doubt. You'll be like, I can get to it another day, or I just don't feel like doing it today. But if the music means something to you, then you're going to show up for work every day. Even if you work a job, you're going to find a way to show up for this music until you need to take a break. Why should I have to make content? Because I know there's a lot of you all who watch my show that ask this underneath your breath. But why are you asking this now is my question. How about this? Try to make it without the content or just doing random posts, and you will see where that gets you, because you'll notice that the people will not engage with you if there's no consistency. And I was just talking to someone, an executive in the game, and we were talking about content and we were talking about story, but nobody really reads magazines or blogs anymore to find out who you are, to become connected to you. But they get that injection of information via the content. So you have to deliver it for them. So in essence, you have to be what was Vibe Magazine or XXL or Complex Media. You have to take that and just go to the people and tell them the story that you want to tell them through the content, in addition to the music, ultimately becoming your own media company. And you want to make this content because you want to have a successful year. Now, can you help me implement these strategies? Of course I can. Book a call on my website. The link is right down below in the description. Well, will you develop these strategies for us to use? It's coming soon, I promise you. Give me time to develop all this stuff, all right? But it's coming soon. But for all this planning that we're gonna do and this execution that we're gonna do in 2024, we're definitely gonna need a foundation, a business foundation at that, to make all this work. So if you're an artist, a producer, a songwriter, or a new music executive who's looking to build a record label or a publishing company in 60 days or less, right? Without searching the internet for all the how-tos and all that stuff, right? Then I built this for you. It's called a 60-day record label course, all right? And what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a robust company foundation to handle all the stuff that we were just talking about in today's video. Ultimately, you'll learn how to play the game via contract, which is what everybody needs to succeed. And then you'll collect your international and domestic publishing and record royalties without the middleman taking 15%. I'll show you how to be a full in-house record label within this course for yourself or for maybe an artist or two, right? This is gonna suit you. All the stuff you see right on the right-hand side is included right down below. And if you trip through this thing, you can always book a call with me and I'll help you back up and help you finish the process. Tap the link down below to get into it. If this is your first time watching the channel, grab the free stuff below. 10 major steps to increase your record label's profits. A free split sheet is included with this download. Now, choosing at least one of these, right? One of these strategies will improve your growth to allow you to make better content or products so you can achieve your dreams and goals with your talent. But doing the same thing we was doing in 2023, some of you gonna do this. Maybe you in that cycle where you just gotta learn, but you'll get nowhere. So make a move next year to achieve something to help you in your career, because this is where we want to be right here. All right, music money makers. So if you were struggling and worried about all the stuff that people had to say about your music releases this year, at least you now have some insight on some things you need to implement next year in 2024, or really in about 2 weeks, so that you can have a successful year next year with all the releases that you're planning. Right, music money makers. So if you make music, you should always make money. Log on to musicmoneymakeover.com, jump into the 60-day record label course, book a call on musicmoneymakeover.com, download the free stuff right down below, and I'll see you next time. Peace.